Okay, welcome everyone to another episode of a weekly market updates with Brother Mo and Shahab. And let's dive right into the market analysis for the last week. In the last week, we saw that most of the blue chips have been in the red, especially the Yuga Labs NFTs. Bored Apes is below 70 ETH, Mutant Apes below 13 ETH, and pretty much every Yuga Labs NFT has been in the red. Another trend that we've been seeing in the market is that a lot of good projects are minting. They're profitable for the first few days, but then after a few days, they're they're all in the red. For example, Athenians, it peaked around 0.4, 0.5 ETH, and now it's dropped all the way down to 0.08 ETH. And that's why we recommend locking in profits quickly and not to hold projects longer term these days. Let's take a quick look at the Dune analytics. One of Another trend that we've been seeing is that people are not trading as actively, but not a lot of people are dropping out of the NFT game. People are just waiting and watching the market, what's going to happen. So in the peak of the market in January, we saw that there were 547,000 active users. Now keep in mind that this can be people using multiple wallets. So the actual users might be a lot less than 547,000. But if we compare it in the bear market, it dipped to around 400,000 active users. So compared to 500,000 active users, it's not a big difference. So from that, we can see that it's not a lot of people leaving the market, but it's people just waiting to see what's going to happen in the market and waiting for the overall trend to trend up, not just NFT market, but also the stock market, the crypto market. And there's a lot of volatility in the Ethereum market, which is also causing this downtrend in the NFT market. And the OpenSea volume, it's still trading sideways. There's not much uptrend or downtrend. We're still in a very slow market these days. Um, the Google Trends also validates what we see on Dune Analytics. There's not much excitement in the market, and we're just trading sideways. And that's it for the market analysis. I'll pass the mic over to Brother Mo.
All right, great job, Brother Shahab. Appreciate that. I just need for you to allow me to share.
Yeah, you can share.
All right, great. Thank you. All right, what's going on, y'all? Okay, so basically, this is what I want to talk about. There's some interesting, there's trends going on in the NFT space. Now, we all know that we're in a bearish market, and we know that there's a lot of brands that are coming into this space. And one of the things that I've noticed is that not too many of the brands that are coming in are exactly doing it correctly in terms of onboarding new folks into the NFT space and them using the right type of resources to have some type of success. A lot of them, of course, have a lot of money in their war chest, but I think they still got some work to do in terms of doing a better job in onboarding. And one of the things I've noticed is that with a lot of the blue chip projects, it's not affordable to most people because of the price, very very high. Most people just can't afford it. So one thing that I'm seeing more of is fractional, basically like fractional investing or fractional ownership in that involves NFTs like the Bored Apes, could be the Moonbirds, those types of NFTs. And I think this is a good thing because it helps to onboard new people. Because if someone can't afford an NFT that's 20 ETH, one way for them to get involved is to have a fractional ownership of that particular NFT. So it's like a small piece. So this is just something I just wanted to bring up to folks to let them know that this is something that you can yourself participate in. And if you can't afford a Bored Ape or whatever the case may be, one option is the fractional. So we're going to be seeing more and more people get into fractional ownership because we're in a bearish market. There's still a lot of uncertainty that's still going on. We're still going through what you call it, just well, we're still in the infancy stage when it comes to NFTs. You know, we're still waiting for some evolution to take place and all that, but definitely look into fractional ownership of NFTs because it's a good way to buy into them.
Yeah,
And
another
another,
reason. Sorry, go ahead.
go ahead, brother.
Yeah, another reason I like this idea is that you're spreading out your risk. So suppose you were an Azuki owner, and instead of like just owning one Azuki, you had like a fourth ownership in Azuki, a fourth ownership in other deeds, in Bored Apes, so in like different ecosystems. And that way, if there is like some kind of like a controversy on one of the NFTs, like over Azuki and Zagabond, you're not putting all of your eggs in one basket.
Exactly, exactly. You're definitely on point about that one, brother. All right, the next thing I want to talk about is PacSun. PacSun did a partnership with the digital avatar. Now, when I first saw this, I actually thought it was a real person, a real female, and her name is Little Michaela, and so they have partnered with this digital avatar. And this Little Michaela, she actually has like I believe like 3 million followers, and she's done partnerships with Dior. She's done partnerships with Prada, Calvin Klein, and from what from just reading this article, I think this was a smart move on PacSun's part um, to create this type of partnership, and we're definitely gonna, I would say, expect to see more of these types of partnerships.
So this
There
is
was
an sorry.
Go ahead.
This is an influencer who has 3 million viewers, but she is AI generated. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, it's not a real person.
That's insane.
Yeah, it is
Like
insane.
imagine like a whole bunch of influencers, but they only exist in the metaverse, and then they're going viral on Instagram, and there's like people who follow their content they're making in the metaverse, and then buying, selling things based on that influencer, who's totally yeah. That's just the thought of it is like totally like a totally different world.
Yeah, it's a totally different world. I mean, I think Uh, I mean, I actually like this idea. I would say the one downside could be that real life social media influencers are not gonna like this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because in their eyes, it's like you're taking away opportunities from them. But this is the space that we're in. And what I would say for those social media influencers, create your own version of a digital avatar that you can do the same thing that Lil Michaela is doing because
Yeah.
she has 3 million followers on Instagram, which is just amazing.
Yeah, that's insane.
Yeah, so Lil Michaela has a lot of social media footprint, and Paxson saw dollar signs, so that's why they partnered up with Lil Michaela. Plus, she's done other partnerships, like I said, with Prada, Dior, Calvin Klein, etc., etc. So, you know, the I would say to those individuals, look at this as an opportunity for yourself to 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 create your own Little Michaela in your own version. You know what I'm saying? So I think this is cool, and I think the social media influencers who are smart enough will see opportunity, and they will see that they can do something the same or something similar, and maybe even do something a little bit better than what Little Michaela is doing. So I think this is very good for the NFT community. So this is what I just wanted to share. And that's basically it.
Uh, did you want to touch a little bit on this pseudo swap ecosystem? There's a lot of chatter going on regarding SudoSwap that they want to remove royalties and creator
Oh,
royalties and minimize the
okay, yeah. Pseudoswap. Yeah, thanks for bringing that to my memory. Yeah, so what we're starting to see now is NFT marketplaces popping up where creative NFT creatives won't be receiving any royalties. Some of the marketplaces will allow you, if you're purchasing an NFT, to set the royalty yourself or not. and there is a lot of pushback from NFT creatives, which I can understand. I know on OpenSea there are fees. Some of them are quite high, like 10%. I think 10% is really, really high in my personal opinion. Um, I would be more comfortable with anything. I would say probably 2, 3, 4%. And that's just my personal opinion. But these NFT marketplaces are competing with OpenSea. There's been a lot of pushback at OpenSea because you know they've been allowing a lot of fake NFT collections, and people have been complaining about the fees. So I'm just waiting to see how this is going to play out. I don't know what kind of game plan these NFTs creatives are going to come up with, dealing with like NFT marketplaces like SudaSwap and others, who are just not giving any royalties at all. I think if you create something, I think it's only fair for you to receive a royalty. Now, as far as what is that amount, that percentage will be, I think the marketplaces, the NFT creatives, and those who are purchasing the NFTs have to come to a middle ground, find a middle number that everyone is satisfied with. I don't think that the NFT creatives and those buying NFTs should take on the biggest brunt when it comes to whether royalties should be paid or not. So the
Yeah.
NFT marketplaces, they're gonna have, if the NFT creatives have to take a hit, NFT marketplaces are gonna have to take a hit and lower
Yeah.
their fees or something like that. What do you
Yeah.
think?
Like, I 100% agree with everything you just said. I just like to add that I feel like there is a market for these type of platforms like SudaSwap. Although serious artists and producers they're not gonna launch on these platforms because there simply isn't enough capital for them. They won't be able to raise enough capital to incentivize the creativity and innovation that they want to bring into the NFT space. So serious projects might not want to go for a platform that doesn't pay back. And you cannot continue a project if you don't have royalties, because some of these projects, they need a continuous source of income to keep the project going. So, but I do see a market, and that market would be that SudoSwap could become the next platform for degen plays, like plays that kind of like a Solana space where you mint the project and you know that it's most definitely going to go to zero later on because you can't keep the project going without no royalties. You can see these projects minting like pump up, and then people make their money and then they just dump it. So I could see like this could be a new platform for degen plays and pump and dumps and higher risk plays.
No, I can agree with that. But I also would say I think that the downside is that, based on what you were saying, like I think these marketplaces, if they become a dump and or like a pump and dump,
Yeah.
I could potentially see them not lasting very long in this in this NFT space,
Yes.
because most people in the NFT community are passionate and they care about the NFT space. They want it to evolve. They want
Yes.
it to grow. They want innovation. They want solutions that's going to solve problems. So I'm not so convinced that these type of NFT marketplaces are going to last long, because me personally, I wouldn't want to, buy NFTs in a marketplace where it's known for a pump and dump.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then, what could happen is that new people who are onboarded, you know, they might buy an NFT, and then, they might, and then it gets dumped, and
Yeah.
then that could discourage them from, doing anything further with NFT. So, I'm a little bit concerned about what kind of negative impact it will have on new people that we're trying to onboard into the NFT space.
Yes.
Because if the NFT community can't grow if we don't have new people coming in to this space to help it to grow and to buy the NFTs. Like you were saying, you
Yeah.
got to have money. If you don't have any capital coming in
Yeah.
with NFTs, they just simply can't grow on the artists.
Yeah.
They can't remain creative, because at the end of the day, they got to eat as well.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's just my
Yeah.
whole take.
Yeah, when you don't have anything to eat, the laws of thermodynamics and entropy kick in and they just eat you and the project
Exactly.
can't go on anymore.
Exactly.
I agree with that analysis. I just see that instead of like having one big dominant player like OpenSea, I feel like the NFT space is kind of like branching up into different areas. Like you have OpenSea where you can charge higher fees, and then you have a platform that might appeal to a certain subset of people who like to gamble, and like pump and dumps appeal to these people. They're not looking for anything long term. And then you have platforms that are easy to use, like a lot of new people might find it useful to buy and sell NFTs with their credit card on Bubble World. So I feel like there's a lot of new platforms coming up, and the space is kind of like branching off into different directions, with each platform appealing to a different type of trader and different people.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good point, brother. Good point.
And I guess that's it for this week.
Yeah.
Yeah, and with that, I hope everybody has a wonderful weekend, and we'll see everybody next week.
Yes. Peace, everybody. Be safe, be blessed, and enjoy life. Thanks,
Ciao.
brother Shahab.
Thank you.
Bye, brother.